We'll discuss about fundamental analysis and how it can be used to unlock companies' true value. Fundamental analysis is a powerful method for evaluation of companies' intrinsic value. Those who are interested in fundamental analysis, they are interested in economic, financial, and qualitative factors to determine long-term prospects of company. This approach helps investors make informed decisions based on a company's true worth. There are different key elements of fundamental analysis. There can be qualitative factors, quantitative factors, economic environment. There are many aspects. In quantitative factors, people examine financial statements. These include income statements, balance sheet, cash flow, key metrics like revenue growth, profit margins, debt levels. These are important aspects which are investigated for quantitative factors. Then there are different qualitative factors which are assessed. These include assessment of management quality, business model, industry trends, competitive advantages, and brand strength. These qualitative factors provide insight into sustainability and growth prospects. So these are qualitative factors which are subjective and every individual may interpret it differently. Then economic environment is also considered, and in this consideration is given to macroeconomic factors such as interest rate, inflation, economic growth, geopolitical events that can impact company valuation. So different aspects are examined and all of these make fundamental analysis. What is objective and decision making process for fundamental analysis? Well, to determine intrinsic value, one has to calculate the true worth of a company's stock based on comprehensive analysis with different factors which we have discussed. People compare market prices and then assess whether the stock is undervalued, fairly valued, or overvalued. And based on this, they make investment decisions. They can decide to buy, hold, or sell based on their comparison. Many people give big importance to fundamental analysis for long term investment. So, by fundamental analysis, people feel that it provides insights into companies' potential to generate future profits and withstand economic downturns. Economy doesn't go one way up or one way down. There are up and down moves, and people feel that they understand in a deeper way how to tackle these ups and downs. This helps them to avoid speculation and focuses on real value rather than market sentiment or short term trends. And it enables investors to make informed decisions, to make choices based on comprehensive analysis of companies' fundamental. So there are different key metrics of fundamental analysis like EPS means earning per share, PE ratio that is price to earning ratio, debt to equity ratio, return on equity ratio, price to book ratio, free cash flow. These are some of the fundamental analysis metrics which are used. There are much more than this. Then there are different components like value investment versus growth investment. Value investment means people focus on those stocks which are undervalued from mature industries. These offer stability and potential for price appreciation. It is not a guarantee that it will appreciate, but people feel that these are the stocks which have value in it and it is likely to get unlocked sometime. And when some big investors find same thing and they start investing, then this value will get unlocked. If they don't come to this stock, it will not. So it may remain dormant and one may not get anything. Sometimes it may become favorite of institutes and it can unlock huge potential. Then there is growth investing. So people seek those companies which have high growth potential. There is possibility of having a higher PE ratio because there is premium on future growth. People feel that this industry is likely to grow, so they are likely to pay more. Therefore, there will be premium and PE ratio will be high. Even after that, these stocks are likely to keep on going higher and higher. They are like momentum investment. Then there is a balanced approach. People may look for a combination of both strategies for diversified portfolio, which balances risk and potential reward. So, what is the use of fundamental analysis? People use fundamental analysis for stock selection, portfolio management, risk management. So stock selection can be done by identification of undervalued stocks or those with long term growth potential based on comprehensive analysis. Portfolio managers want to ensure that their portfolio has fundamentally strong companies so that they have sustainable returns. And risk management is done by understanding companies' financial health. So, those companies which have poor financial health are less likely to produce returns and they are likely to have more risk. Risk averse people will avoid these kind of companies, whereas some people want to invest only in fundamentally strong companies, even though they have lower growth potential, they want safety. So, it is kind of FD in stocks. So there are some limitations in fundamental analysis. Most important limitation is it is very time consuming. So if you want to investigate one company based on its fundamentals, you have to go through annual reports, quarterly reports, and go through the financial statement. There are many people who go and visit the companies. There are people who attend all the con calls, and everything is analyzed. Many people keep on reading about what is upcoming news about this company. They keep searching for news, they keep searching for new products. They have to go to markets and talk to the customers, talk to the employees of those companies. So fundamental analysis is a time consuming process and one has to do grassroots level work. It requires lot of man hours to investigate one company. And after maybe 100 companies are researched, you will get one or two companies which are good, worth investment. Then there is lot of subjectivity. So qualitative factors can be difficult to quantify. It leads to varying interpretations. Every individual will have different interpretation. And then there will be some external factors like economic or political events which can impact stock prices. Even though there is strong fundamental, still these stock prices can get impacted because of these events. Like there can be a war, there can be some natural disaster, there will be some external factors. These are some limitations of fundamental analysis. If I want to conclude and compare technical analysis versus fundamental analysis, technical analysis data is almost same for everyone. The chart is same. Whatever you want, you can analyze from that chart, and volumes are given same to everyone. Chart is given same to everyone. One can develop their own indicators and do their analysis, but basic chart is same. On the other hand, if you want to do fundamental analysis, you will have to wait for quarterly report. But many times we have seen that stock prices keep on rising even before the results come. And when results come, it is a time to sell. People offload their stocks with a good news. So there must be some other factor, some insider news or something which tells people to buy before the good news and they exit on good news. And some people buy after a bad news or a bad result. There are these various factors which make fundamental analysis highly subjective. There are a lot of individual variations. If I have to prefer one thing, I will go for technical analysis because I can analyze one chart in maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most. But in 10 minutes, I cannot read any fundamental data and it will take a lot of time. So this process is time consuming and I am not inclined towards that. Therefore, I don't like fundamental analysis. Today, we will see some masters of fundamental analysis. These are legendary investors and they have made huge profits. These people are Benjamin Graham is pioneer of value investing. He used to look for intrinsic value based on earnings and growth. He wanted margin of safety and used to minimize risk by investing in undervalued companies. He has written the book Intelligent Investor and he has given lessons of discipline, rational investment strategies in this book. I'll discuss about him in detail. Then there is Warren Buffett. His investment strategy is based on economic moat. He invests in companies with sustainable competitive advantages. He looks for management quality and gives priority to strong leadership and ethical management. And then his focus is mainly long term. He says our favorite holding period is forever, but that doesn't mean he will not sell or he will not exit from bad companies. Then Peter Lynch comes with his growth at a reasonable price or GARP. He checks PEG ratio. He tells us to buy what you know. and focus is on scalability of the companies for exponential growth. Then there is Philip Fisher, who uses quality growth investment. His method is known as scuttlebutt method. He conducts thorough research through industry conversations. So he goes to CEOs, he checks the companies, he meets employees, and his method is also same. He goes for long term holding to maximize the return by holding great companies. And focus is mainly on innovations, the companies which have cutting edge research, the new upcoming companies with new technologies, not the old one. Mostly they will be IPO companies or small stocks, SME companies. There will be some very good companies where he will invest. Then we have John Templeton. John Templeton uses global approach. He has contrarian approach for global contrarian investing, and he buys at maximum pessimism. So whenever he feels that this is a point of maximum pessimism, everybody is depressed and not willing to buy this market, at that time he will go and invest in that market globally. He does not invest only one or two countries. He looks at global opportunities. He has that kind of fund. And key to his investment strategy is patience and discipline. Then there is Charlie Munger. He advocates mental models for multidisciplinary thinking for better decisions. So he approaches the problems backwards to avoid pitfalls, and he removes emotions, focuses on logic. Then there is Ray Dalio, who has macro and risk parity as his method. He goes for economic cycles, risk parity, and diversification. Then modern value investing comes with Seth Klarman. He has a tendency to go for bargain hunting, focus on deeply undervalued stocks, and he prioritizes capital preservation over chasing returns. He does not want his capital to go in losses. He wants to preserve his capital. And his approach is contrarian. When everybody is fearful, at that time he wants to buy, and when everybody is greedy, at that time he likes to sell. All these masters have common lessons. They have common themes of discipline, patience, long term approach, and intrinsic value focus. They perform thorough research of fundamental analysis of the business. They focus on quality, prioritize the business quality and future prospects, and they diversify and be patient for value realization. Because once you are contrarian and willing to buy undervalued companies, then these companies will not get unlocked overnight. It requires time. So, diversification and patience are very important with these approaches. And then there are modern day traders like Mark Minervini and Dan Zanger and Larry Williams. These people have made huge returns, more than 200%, 300% in 1 year. Larry Williams has record of 11,000% in 1 year, and Dan Zanger has similar record. Larry Williams compounding is around 48% per month. Dan Zanger went on compounding for 18 months and he got 1,67,000% return. So it also comes around 50% per month. These people are momentum investors. They also look for some fundamentals, and after fundamentally strong companies identified, they go for momentum trading based on technical charts. You can choose whatever you want. Those people with large capitals we have discussed, these people they traded with their individual accounts, and individual account can be managed properly with less risk and larger returns, but huge portfolios cannot be managed in same manner.